Hello, beautiful people of the world. It's Cindy. And I know the lighting's not the best out here, but just trying to give you a change of scenery instead of the yellow wall and butterfly behind me. Anyway, taking advantage of being outside. You might hear the thunder rolling out there. I'm hoping that some rain's going to come. I love those afternoon thunderstorms here. It's part of cleaning up the air and just refreshing everything. Anyway, I came on today to talk a little bit more about the messages from the Seraphim angels. My video yesterday included a little bit of channeling from the Seraphim, and when I went to bed, I was meditating, and the Seraphim angels came back in to give me more information. So I just wanted to pass that on to you. So what they were sharing with me was that not only is Earth going through such a huge transformation and energy shift, but remember that everything's connected to all that is. So that means that if Earth is going through these big, huge shifts, so is the rest of the world. I mean, the rest of the universe. All the other planets, all the other stars, everything about the universe is shifting and moving. So if you're finding yourself buying into fear a little bit more than you usually are, it would be normal because it's totally shaking up on such deep levels and such huge levels. It's more than just you personally and the things around you and even just the earth, but collectively as a whole universe of all that is shaking up and moving. The other thing that they told me was, and I thought this was really interesting. They're talking about the new world, about how, I explained in not the last video, but the video before that. It's called Aliens Landing on August 4th or at the Olympic closing ceremonies. I talked a little bit about the Mayans message that they channeled to me about our consciousnesses becoming so different between one of mainstream that is more driven from fear and one that is more driven from love and coming from your heart and living from your heart. And that more and more people are waking up to that living from your heart and really starting to be in integrity with what's right for us personally and following our paths and listening to our heart's callings and really living in integrity with ourselves of why we're really here. We're not here to live a rat race and get involved in jobs that really aren't bringing us joy and basically working just to survive. We're not here to survive. We're here to remember our joy and love and explore and see beauty and get closer to who we are, which is the divine, which is God, light, whatever you call your higher power. And being in a job that you don't enjoy or a relationship that you don't enjoy or anything you don't enjoy is taking you further and further away from who you are and why you're here and from your happiness and joy. So anyway, as those two energies start to split, you always make decisions. And there's always two choices and decisions. You either make your choice from fear or you make your choice from your heart. And so that's the same thing with the consciousnesses. So the mainstream keeps you in fear. Oh, you better do this or. And, just, keeping their thumb on you and keeping you just worried and stuck in a situation where you just think you have to keep doing this because how else are you going to survive or live? Or the other part is coming from your heart and knowing that somehow, some way things do work out and finding ways to support yourself that are more in alignment with your joy and your in your heart. So those energies are really starting to become further and further apart energetically, vibrationally. So the gap is getting very wide, and soon, I heard 2012, but we're already in, not 2012, 2014, but we're already in the process of this splitting. We have been for a long time, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And we're dancing between, these huge this huge gap of dimensions, and frankly the people like me who are living from their heart are getting really tired of dancing in the other dimension of fear and mainstream and the rat race and all of that, and I'm really so done with that. So as that gap widens, sooner or later we're going to have a splitting, and they're going to keep doing what they do in that world they created, and that other world that we're creating of joy and love and following your heart is going to split off and have their own consciousness, their own world. They're calling it a new world, as it may be called, and it'll just simply fall away from each other. Now, what the Seraphim told me about that was that it's not going to be just like, some people are just taking it so physically technical. Like, oh, how is the earth going to come apart? How is it going to split? So remember, the earth, just like us, we're raising our vibrations or lowering our vibrations. So whatever, we're depending on what choices we're making. And so same with the earth, it is an energy, so it's also making choices for itself. So as it is vibrating, as it's realigning with who it is, as it is ascending and being more in its truth, also it's going to have an ascension as well. So it would make sense that maybe it wouldn't want to stay with that chaos and that using up of resources and disrespecting its oceans, people killing the wildlife and harming Mother Earth. Maybe it's tired of that too, and it's ready to evolve from that. So it can just recreate. And we, as consciousnesses, the more focus we put on something, the more we recreate. Okay, I'm going to give you, now I hope I don't lose this space, but this point, because I'm not finished. But I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. It's how mass consciousness can create. So you know how the gas prices, they were really getting high there for a while. I don't know, a few years ago. I think it was like $4 and something cents in the U.S. And people kept saying, "Oh gosh, gas is going up higher and higher. Gas is getting higher and higher." And every time they'd say that, gas would be getting higher and higher. It's right. They were absolutely right. With the more people saying it was getting higher, it was getting higher. So every time I heard someone say that, I would say, "But I think it's going down. I think it's going down." They go, "Oh, really?" So it made them stop being in that energy of creating higher and higher gas prices. Well, then the gas prices started to drop, and they started going lower and lower, and people were saying, "Gas is getting cheaper. Wow, gas is going lower. Oh, look at the gas prices, they're going lower." So as they were really going into that same conscious thought form that the gas was going lower, the gas went really, really, really low. I think it went down to even $2 and something. It was incredible. And so then of course, most people are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. They started saying, "Well, gas is getting lower, but watch, it's going to go up again." And it's like, oh my gosh, look what you're creating. So yeah, more people were saying, "Yeah, it's getting lower, but watch, it'll go up again." So what happened? It did go up again. So now it's been in the $3 and something range, but it did go up, because what you think and what more people focus on creates that. So that's just kind of I always like to use that analogy because it's so true and it's so easy to see it that way. Okay, going back to that energy split and creating that new world. Well, everybody's been calling it the new world. I call it shifting. If you're just not aligning with certain energies, you're just not going to be around them. So maybe we're all still on the same earth, but we're just in different dimensions. Did you ever think of that? Maybe the earth doesn't go anywhere. We just energetically, we are all in different places. And if we are seeing an earth that has abundance and resources and people living in community and helping each other and a moneyless society and love and people just really being heart-centered, it just reminds me of the Atlantean days, then we are going to create that. And the more people that think like that, the more we will create the same thing. And then that's what we will see in our experience. So maybe it's not even a splitting of earth. Maybe it's not even a new earth. Maybe it's just we're in different dimensions. Just like when the Mayans disappeared I believe they just ascended and they continued to see us. And those who channel continued to hear them, but they just were done with where they were and they went to higher levels. And I believe we are doing the same things that the Mayans did, and it's just history repeating itself. Now, the Seraphim were telling me it's not just going to be a shift of a new earth, but a shift of a new universe. So a whole new universe is created, which makes complete sense to me, because really we are all living our own universe. We might be in the same sort of energetic universe because we're connected, and depending on our vibrations, it will depend on what kinds of situations and experiences and people we are aligned with. But really, we all live our own universe because we all have a different perspective and belief. We might have similar beliefs, but I don't know two people that have the same exact beliefs at all times. So in essence, we are living in our own universes. But anyway, the Seraphim angels were saying it's going to be a split up into a whole new universe, and they're showing me something so beautiful. And again, I keep being brought back to the Atlantean times. Now, I do a lot of spiritual journeys, and one of the places that we go to is Mount Shasta, and we've been having incredible transformational results there with our groups. It's just amazing the change that we go through and the life-enhancing experiences that happen. But one trip that we went on, I think it was last year, we went into the underground. And I don't know if you've heard of the underground people that live inside of the mountain. Well, we were in the if you haven't heard of it, you can Google it, but we found a passageway into the underground because one of my dear friends, showed me this amazing place that was in the underground behind a waterfall, and it was just amazing. Several of us climbed down in there, and I noticed the difference between living on Earth and living within Earth. When you're living on Earth, you are experiencing what is around you, what's in front of you, what's the outward, more of the outward Earth. When you go in the underground, you go within, and all of a sudden you're in yourself. And it's this place of really, I think a lot of times people don't go in within themselves because either it's painful, or they don't know to do that, and they don't realize that inwards is really your soul, and that's really who you are. But when you go there, you naturally go inwards. And so we were surrounded by, several of the people who came on the trip. And it was just like the Atlantean times, where we were looking at each other and we didn't feel the need to even talk with our mouths. It was a communication through heart and eyes. And so even though we didn't have words to put to what we were communicating, you could feel a communication going on between you and whoever you happen to look at and feel the draw to look at. And it wasn't like we were trying to look at each other's eyes and hearts and go, oh, I'm having this connection. It wasn't that at all. It was just, you felt it, you knew it, you just looked at them and something happened. And every interaction that happened really was just laced and bathed in love. It was amazing. So I can see how the underground people really want to be down there. They can come up onto the outside world if they want, but I can see why they'd want to go down there, because it is so beautiful and it's so peaceful and it's so pure. So just experiencing energy in this way, in these ways that we're able to experience, like these experiences that we have in Shasta, can really change your life and your perspective when you can experience these beautiful, I would have never imagined going in the underground that I'd go within like that and be around other people and experience. It's almost like being a meditation, but experiencing it with a bunch of people and just feeling this pure heart space love. It's really, truly amazing. So those transformational trips are amazing. This last one we did 3 weeks ago, we actually had real interaction with a spaceship. Real interaction. And since that trip, I've been seeing so many more aliens around me. And I mean, I already saw dead people and spirits and angels and stuff like that, but I'm seeing a lot more activity, and they're really wanting to talk and communicate. So we're going back to Shasta at the end of September. Today is August 3rd, 2012. So we're going the last weekend of September. Check out my website, healingyoursoul.com, and look under Transformational Journeys. And we're actually going to Sedona too, mid-October, I think October 20th through the 22nd, 2012. So come with us, because we'll show you a time that you never imagined, and we always connect with the galactic star people, the angels, and our spirit guides, and just all kinds of things on all levels. But just really experiencing energy like we do is just a treasure, and it's life-changing and precious. So anyway, I guess this was an important part of the message. Yesterday I talked about the Seraphim saying, get clear with where you want to see yourself. And so last night I realized, I guess I've been just so caught up in where I'm living now that I'm just recreating myself, and it's just been a lot of stuff that I've had to think about and deal with. But I really haven't put much thought to where ultimately I'd like to be and feel. So in my meditation last night, I went there and I really was putting some ideas to what I wanted to, where I wanted to be. And what I was told by the Seraphim is, imagine where you want to be in the new world. We'll call it the new world. When things really shift and you're with like-minded people all the time, where and what will you want to be doing? And that it was really something to stretch your dreaming big, because it's really taking you to up to those levels. So what they're asking us to do is dream big into the new world, because that's going to help shift us into that new world even faster. So I thought that was just brilliant. So think about where ultimately you want to be in the new world to help shift this energy faster, so we can actually be there real time. So let's manifest it real time. And I'd love to hear what you come up with. For me, I want this, my battery's running out, so I have to be quick. I really want some place like a, I don't even want to call it a center, just a place where people can come and I can work with my other friends that do this work with me, and we can infuse you with different amazing energies to uplift and enhance your life, channeling, and a place where you could just be in that being of Om. And Om is the universal sound of the universe, Om, and it just brings such a sense of inner peace. So this will be a place of inner peace, and I imagine it to be very much like Atlantis. So that's where I'm headed. Anyway, thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll have more tomorrow. Have a great day, and remember, start dreaming up big where ultimately you want to be in the new world, because that will really help us to shift a lot faster. Anyway, take care, everybody. Sending you lots of love and angel blessings.